So I think it's safe to say none of us saw this happening today. The New York Knicks just traded Kristaps Porzingis, their 23-year-old star, who was supposed to be the guy to lead them over the next 10 plus years, and now he's going to be in Dallas playing with Luka Doncic. And that discussion is for another video. This is going to be all about the Knicks and why the hell KP is no longer in New York. And I will just mention for the sake of whatever. They are, of course, also taking on Wesley Matthews and DeAndre Jordan. They're not going to be on the team past this season, I have to guess. As well as Dennis Smith. We are going to talk about him a little bit more than those two. Anyway, this is my thought process through this. I think the Knicks did not hold KP in as high of regard as everybody else on the planet. And clearly everybody on NBA Twitter, as the reaction to this trade was extremely WTF. It has since come out that Porzingis' relationship with the front office was perhaps not the best, where they got the sense of he may never trust them, he may never be all the way bought into the future plans of this team, and we'll talk about the young players and the direction the Knicks have been going in a second, but it just seems like it was never a perfect fit in terms of personalities. I guess KP's brother being his agent is maybe not the best thing, and that seemed to be causing some reservations for New York. And we have to take into account the injury that the guy just had, tearing his ACL. Maybe that, in combination with the problems that he was having and what the Knicks perceived as future problems that he was going to have with the team, was enough to where they would just say, you know what, you're very talented, but we just don't think this is going to work long term. That's the only rationale that I can think of. Because from a basketball standpoint, the return that the Knicks are getting here is nowhere near enough for how good Kristaps Porzingis is. The only player really worth talking about is Dennis Smith, and sure, he's better than Ntilikina, but to act like Dennis Smith is a home run return for Porzingis, that's just not the case. I mean, the guy's got problems. Who knows if he can be a starting point guard in the NBA? Sure, he can dunk and he can get to the rim, but can he make plays and can he lead you to winning basketball? That's all up in the air right now. And the other reason, of course, is because with all of the cap space that the Knicks have given themselves after this season now, they got some free agency dreams. And you know the two players I'm going to talk about. The first one is Kyrie Irving. I mean, there's rumors out there that he may not stay with the Celtics. I guess the way that it's going is not exactly how he perceived it in terms of, I don't know, his luxury as a leader. And I mean, he's had a few quotes this season about the young players and all that. So, I mean, Kyrie's a weirdo. We all know this. So who knows what he's really going to do. But I mean, for the Knicks to be confident enough or comfortable enough to just be like, you know what, we're willing to roll the dice on Kyrie Irving coming and leaving the situation in Boston, which is still really good compared to the Knicks, that's quite a swing, is one way to put it. And the other player is, of course, Kevin Durant. Some people would suggest that he could leave Golden State to get away from all the hate that he's gotten for the past few years. On top of maybe because he's proven himself or whatever, now he can go lead his own team. And there was still the Draymond incident this previous, earlier this season, I should say. But again, you're willing to go all in like that? Because here's the thing, like if the Knicks don't get a Kevin Durant, if they don't get Kyrie Irving, if they don't get any of the other free agents that are available at the top, then this could end up being an all-time bad move. Because even if Porzingis was having trouble with the front office, that doesn't mean that it was a lost cause. They still had time to fix the relationship, and they were going to have cap space anyway with an opportunity to get more. And I'm also not that convinced that Porzingis would have preferred to go to unrestricted free agency, given that the guy's coming off of a torn ACL. I think they could have called his bluff there. But now they have Dennis Smith, 2 heavily protected first-round picks, and soon the lowest payroll in the league. On top of all the young talent they have, and they have a few dudes, but I'm pretty much just going to talk about Kevin Knox because I think he's a step above the rest of them. I like Knox, 6'9" wing, shown some life going off the dribble, and I think his jump shot is good enough right now to where if you project moving forward, it could be a plus for him. But I'm not going nuts over him either. He's got to get better at reading the game and sharpening his handle and, you know, things that are probably going to take a few seasons. So for him to now be their best young player, unless Dennis Smith just really lights the world on fire, it's not beautiful. I felt a lot better about Knox when I thought of him as the number 2 guy next to Porzingis. But now that he is your leading prospect in this rebuild, it's maybe like 15% less exciting. Now, of course, they're still in the Zion sweepstakes. Granted, Zion, KP, and Kevin Knox would have been a lot better, but Zion and Knox is still pretty good. But yeah, I think I've said about what I want to say. This is wild, man. I mean, if the Knicks don't nail it in free agency, then trading away a guy that's this good, that's, well, it's something. That's all I got.